these things. Okay? Not every person has to have an age. Not every person has to have a name. Okay? These are only things that they can have. Alright? That's the important thing about attributes. Every person doesn't have to have these things. They can have them. Now, but we're going to create a constructor that's going to have all of these things. So our person is going to have an age. Person is going to have a name. Person's going to have a weight. Person's going to have a height. Person's going to have a sex. And that sex is going to be used to determine the gender of this person. Everyone understand that? Yes? Right. Now, every person is going to have a cat. Now, every person can only have one cat. Now, every person I create is going to have dogs. Okay? So it's an array of dogs. So every person I'm going to create is going to also have a partner. Okay? Is also going to have a partner. Now, so first of all, I am going to create a constructor inside this class. Now, I am going to create a few overloaded constructors. Right? The first overloaded constructor I'm going to create is going to be this one. So it's person. Now, I'm going to have a constructor that takes an age and a name. Okay? Has nothing else but an age and a name. And I'm going to say this age is equal to age. This name is equal to name. Okay, so this is a simple constructor. Okay, so this is a constructor. A constructor that takes an int and a string and assigns them to our newly created person. Okay, so this is a very simple one. Okay, so this person. Now, as we're going along, we're going to be doing something to all these variables here. Now, at this moment in time, when I create this person, you still have access to weight, height, sex, gender, my cat. So, when I create a person with this constructor, it'll have an age, it'll have a name. Now, it also will have a weight of 0, it'll also have a height of 0, it'll also have a sex of 0, it'll also have a gender of false, so on and so forth. Alright? Now, as we go along, we will be doing something to all of these variables. I'm not going to say what it is yet. That will mean that when I create a person through this constructor, they will only have an age and a name. They won't have a weight and a height and a sex and a gender. Okay? So, just assume for now, even though it's not the case, that when we create this person doesn't have a weight, a height, a sex, a gender, a cat, dogs, or a partner. Is everyone okay with that? Okay? Right. Now, so, yeah. Yeah.
If you create the person, and then you change the attributes outside.
Yeah.
The fact that the person has been created with different.
Doesn't matter.
You can change them with it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right.
Doesn't matter what constructor you create them with. If you change the age of the person's age is changed. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, what I'm going to use this constructor for? I'm going to use this constructor. I will create a person that will be a partner of the person who owns some dogs and one cat. Okay, so I'm going to have another constructor that takes everything there. Alright, and its partner is going to be a person that was created using this constructor. Now, this has become more apparent as I do it. Okay, so just make sure you have that constructor created. Right, now, so I'm going to go back to main again. Now I am going to create a person. This person is going to be called Patricia. Is equal to new person. And Patricia is going to be 34. And her name is going to be Patricia. So who's this? This is the partner of person Pat. Now, we are going to create the constructor. The constructor is going to be fairly big if it has to take in all of these variables. Okay, so now I'm going to put the constructor up here. The reason I'm putting it up here because I want to see all the variables I'm going to need to include it. Okay, so it's going to be person. So we have these are all the variables that are going to be included in our constructor. All right, these are all the variables that are going to be included in our constructor. So int age, string name, double weight, double height, cat, my cat. Go on to the next line. Dog array is going to be dog array, and person partner. Right? Okay, so now I don't assign it a gender because we're going to use the, oh sorry, I'm missing out sex as well. So where does sex go? Sex goes after height. So Boolean sex.
You think there would know that you wouldn't have to put in the int and double, but because you've already declared them, there was no, there's just a
here. No, but you see, these are not the same as these guys. This is a method. Right, so it's a method. It has no idea what these things are. Okay, so that's why you're declaring it. So now, so what this is a constructor that takes everything to do with a person except gender, which will be calculated within the constructor depending on the Boolean sex. Okay, this includes a person object, okay, has, which is a partner, has only one. Okay, that's the assumption we're making. Okay, you need to put out down all your assumptions. Alright, if you have multiple partners, you need to put down that assumption. Okay, you need to put down all assumptions. If something's not explicitly said there, you have to say why it's not explicitly there. Which is a partner, only has one. Includes a dog, includes a cat, can only have one cat, and a number of dogs. Now, you can have one or many dogs. So it can be an array with one dog in it. It can be an array with many dogs in it. Okay. Now I'm going to go down here. So we just go through the motions. We go this dot age is equal to age. This dot name is equal to name. This dot weight is equal to weight. Now it's easier when you're typing it along to keep the same order. So if it goes age, name, weight, you go age, name, weight here. So you don't have to keep it in the same order, but it makes it easier for you to keep track of things if you keep everything in order. Okay? So next one is going to be height. This dot height is equal to height. Now I don't want to do the sex, so this dot my cat is equal to my cat. This dot dog array is equal to dog array, and this dot partner is equal to partner. Now I should have put in there as well, I left out sex, so I go this dot sex is equal to sex. And you need to see what each one of these: age of person, name of person, weight of person, height of person, person's cat can only be one, a person's sex, true for female, false for male, a person's dogs can be one dog or many dogs, and lastly a person's partner. So you need to comment what your variables are, because sometimes you'll have variable names that are not immediately apart from what they actually are. Okay, so you need to put a comment in and say what the variables are.
No.
Yeah.
I think that one of the parameters is an object. Which is a person, partner. Yeah. Like I don't quite understand how that can be a parameter when it's part of you're creating the person.
Right. So
it's an object within an object,
but it is well. Think of it this way, right? You have a partner. I have a partner.
Yeah.
That's part of me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now that partner exists independently, but it's also part of me. Alright? Just like a dog exists independently, but it's also a part of me. Think of it that way. That's the way you need to think of it. So attributes are a thing an object has. They aren't necessarily a physical part of you. I have a dog. I have a couple of cats. I have partners. No. I have partner. Right?
That partner would have to be created using the person constructor.
Yeah.
Which is what the person constructor is.
Yeah. It just seems weird, yes, but the same process that creates. So we can create a partner using this constructor, or we can create a partner using this constructor. It doesn't make a difference. It's still a person. Okay. Okay. Now, so we're going to before we go any further, this constructor isn't quite finished. All right. Now we need to be able to calculate the gender of this person. Okay. So I am going to create a new method. I'm going to put it down here beneath the person constructor here. I am going to call this void get gender. All right. So I'm going to do this. If sex. I'm going to leave it like this for a minute and explain what I've done. gender is equal to female. Else gender is equal to, so capital F, capital A. Now I've done something what looks slightly different. Now I can do this, right? That's fine. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Okay? I can do that, fine, but I don't have to do that. Because remember, sex is a Boolean. Sex is either true or false. Okay? So if I say this, because remember what an if statement is all about is this has to evaluate to true or false. Okay, so what I'm saying there is, and sex is only either true or false. So if you just put in that, that means if sex is true, the gender is female, else the gender is male. Now, you can use that syntax, or you can use this syntax. Alright? The reason I'm showing you this syntax is when you're looking up stuff online, well, something like that. Okay? Most developers use that rather than go. I don't know why, they just do. So it's just to make life easier for yourself. Okay? Because if you're looking up code online, and you will, right? The majority of the time is going to be sitting up looking at Google. How do you do this? What method does this? Alright? Google is your friend. And they will show you something like that. Now what that means is, so I'll put a comment above it. So, sex is a Boolean, which means it can only be true or false. So, by going if sex, what we are actually saying is if sex is true, as the if statement braces which is these guys, has to be a Boolean, and sex is a Boolean. So what that's saying there is, if sex is true, okay, if sex is true, so I'll show you how it works. Get. Now, up in our constructor, we have assigned it a sex. Alright? So by the time it gets to here, it already has sex is either going to be equal to true or false. Okay? So by the time it gets to this line here, it has a sex. It's either going to be true or false. So we call the getGender method for the person who's just been created. The person who's just been created now has either true or false for his sex. So then all you have to do is, if the sex, so getGender, so let's say it's Pat that's calling this. Okay? Pat has his gender set to be false, or his sex set to be false. So Pat is created, so inside here getGender, that means that Pat is calling getGender. Okay? So if I go if sex, that's checking the sex of Pat. It's false, so it's not that one. So that means the gender of Pat is male. Any questions on that? Okay? So you need to be able to follow all these things. Alright? Code never goes from top to bottom. Okay? Code is going to be calling other methods from other classes from other applications, even from other programming languages. Java can read code in other programming languages. Alright? It can do that. You could have a C# code library, they're called. You can read them. You could have a Swift code library. Swift is the programming language of Apple. You could have, what else is there? C.
Sorry, let's say, okay, if I know, let's say C#, yes?
Yeah.
And didn't know Java, I can like actually just download libraries and program in
No.
Java,
No.
C#.
Yeah, you can. There's an intermediate technology you need to have in it. But yes, that's basically what you do. You just download the libraries. Okay, there is an intermediate technology you need to use. I can't think of the name of it now. But it's basically just important. And they work. So you can call a method in a C# library.
But it's actually very bad idea.
Sorry?
It's very bad idea. It's no point now learning Java. I can learn C# and
Yeah, well, you can just develop in one language and use libraries in other languages. For instance, C# is great for Windows and also for games. All game development is done in C#. Doesn't matter how complex it is, it's C#. Okay? High-end graphics, C#. Alright? So you can design it in Java and yet you're pulling in C# libraries. So you can. Alright? Any questions? So do you need to learn C# and Java? Not really. Just learn one language and pull in the libraries from another language. Yeah, any questions? Yeah.
No, just before you get gender, that's your method.
Yeah.
And then the get gender above that is just all of that.
Yeah.
That's just escape.
Yeah. Okay. And what's calling get gender is whoever created. So let's say I create a person called Pat. Alright? So up until this point, Pat has all his variables. Alright? So when I have get gender in the constructor, it's Pat that is calling get gender. So he has access to all of his variables inside here. Okay? Yeah.
No, in the person object, you can just move up the screen.
Yeah.
Or just above that.
That?
Do you need to say that? No, do you need to say your gender equals get gender? No, that in that one.
Well,
Or do you know what I'm saying?
the gender is only for us.
Okay, yeah.
Okay? No program needs to know whether it's male or female. All it needs to know is that it's true or false. So the gender is just for us. Okay? To say they're male or female, because you don't need to have male or female at all. All you need to say is Boolean sex, true or false. Okay?
That might be like their gender equals get gender.
No. So gender, I just put it down here.
you know gender to be true or false.
Exactly, yeah. But that's all. That's what we're going to be using anytime we're doing anything to do with whether it's a male or female. We're going to be using the Boolean. We're not going to be using gender. Okay, the gender is just purely for us to see whether it's male or female. No other reason. Okay, so
It's like very stable.
yeah, that's exactly what it's like. So this is just for us to see if this is a male or female.
Converted from Java to English.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Okay, so this is just for us to see if it's male or female. If doing any sort of calculation that concerns males or females, we will be using the Boolean sex. Okay, we don't use gender at all, really. So this is calculated from the Boolean sex using get gender method. Now the chances are when you when you type all this and you run it, it's not going to run in yours because it's very easy to make a mistake. You might have a comma somewhere like that. So if it doesn't work, just download this version. Is that okay, everyone? Okay, because there's a lot there. All right. Now, so this is a constructor that takes all of the variables, plus it has inside the constructor, it has a getGender method. And what does getGender method? This will calculate, so you need to comment everything, the gender based on the Boolean sex. And you need to see what each method is. This gets the gender for the person. That's it. This gets the gender for the person. Now you can have other constructors there, and you can call getGender in them as well, which I will be doing in a minute. Now I want to create this person. Right? It's going to look like that. Alright? So I want to call that constructor. So I'm going to go back to main. Now, so we have all the variables ready for this. Our person is going to be called Pat. Alright? We have all the variables ready for our person called Pat. So I'm going to go here. I go person Pat is equal to new person. Now I'm going to go age. I'll take this age up here. Age there. That's going to be. I'm going to send it p age. I'm going to send it p name. I'm going to send it p weight. I'm going to send it Tibbles, which is the name of our cat. I'm going to send it a dog array, p height, true. Now that's the wrong order. Okay, so I need to have put my mouse over it here, and so I need to have a look and see what I've made a mistake. So Boolean's in the wrong place. So the Boolean should be before balls. So I'll just copy and paste this and put it as a comment before it. So age is fine, name is fine, weight is fine. Okay, so that's what I'm going to try. So it has to be p height. I'm going to make this, I'm going to put in false. I'm going to put in Tibbles. I'm going to put in dog array. And I'm going to put in Patricia. Okay. Sorry? Well, yeah, I have to put in a dog array. No, because see, this is up here. See, I called it up here. I could call it p dog array if I want. Okay. So now that's our person created. Now, one thing I missed in the person array, I need to put in a print statement to say that this is what creates a person. So so constructor that takes everything. Alright. So constructor that takes everything. So we're going to create the person. I'm going to go to main. I'm going to run it. Constructor that takes everything. So this creates a person. Alright. Now, a good assignment to get you to do, but I'm going to do it with you. Alright? If I wanted to give you a good assignment, if I wanted you to print off all of the details of that person, alright, it's not as straightforward as you think. Alright, to print off the age of the person, the name of the person, the weight of the person, the height of the person, the gender of the person, that's all fine. Right, that's grand. Right, it'll be just pat.age, pat.name, pat.weight, pat.height, pat.gender. Okay, and we're talking about doing a method. Method would be called print me. Problem happens with these guys. If I want to print out all the details of a particular cat, if I want to print off all of the details of all of my dogs, if I want to print off the details of Patricia. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to create a method that will print off all of these details. Yeah? Okay, so we're going to do it step by step. So, first thing to do, we're actually going to go to the person class. And I'm going to call this method void print person. Now, so the first part I'm going to say is your name is plus name, your age is plus age, next one is your height is plus height, synchronous Q, piss off. Your weight is plus weight is fine. So that's all fine. So there are all the details of the name of Pat, the age of Pat, the height of Pat, the weight of Pat, the gender of Pat. Yeah? Right. Now we come to the problem of our first problem. Go back to main. Our first problem is our cat. Okay? So, how do I print off all the details of my cat? Now, my cat does have an age, a name, and a weight. Anyone?
Print cat.
Sorry?
You can go print cat, no?
Where would I go print cat?
Inside, where do you print it?
So here, you're saying I print out the cat here.
That is the person details.
Yeah. So how would I print out the cat details?
Next to those, what's the outcome?
Yeah, I want to print off. Right. So go to cat class. I want to print off the age, name, and the weight of the cat.
Okay. Go back to person.
Yeah.
And you can put inside print person in there.
Yeah. What do I put in there?
The cat dot.
What do I put in?
The CAT cat.
No.
Why not? Seriously.
No, because it's known as my cat.
Okay, my cat.
Alright. There's an easier way. Right? And it concerns the cat class. It's not in the person class you do this. Right? Inside the cat class, you have a method called, it's going to return a string now. Yeah. Print cat. Okay. Now it's returning a string. So it's going to return, you can write it this way, it's going to be age of cat is plus age name of cat is plus name. Weight of cat is plus weight. Okay, you can put things over two lines, so nothing stopping you from doing that. Okay, now how does this work? So I'll explain how it works. Okay, Zero here got 7 years in jail. Right. So now, so here we have an example of we're using other classes to do something in another class. All right. So this will print off the details of the cat. So I'm going to go back into the person class. All right. Now, the cat that's known by the person, the cat that's owned by the person, it's known in the program as my cat. Okay. So this Pat has a cat. Pat has a cat called my cat. Okay? The program knows Pat's cat as my cat. Okay? So, if I use the word my cat, that refers to Tibbles. Okay? So if I go down here, and if I go SYSO, I'm going to go my cat dot print cat. Okay? What that's doing here, that is calling, so this, the cat that Pat owns is called my cat. Okay? So, if a person owns a cat, the program knows that it's my cat. Okay? So, the cat that Pat owns is called my pet. This is what program, or this is what Java knows this cat as. So what we are doing here is calling a print method for Pat's cat, my cat. So it will print off, this will print out the name of Pat's cat, which is Tibbles. What else is there? I just need to go back to main a minute to see what the variables of the cat are. It's age. I'll print out the age of Pat's cat, which is 3, and this will print out the weight of Pat's cat, which is, go back to main again, 12.5. Jeez, he's a fat cat. Okay. No, that's weight. Okay. So my cat.printCat returns a string. Okay. So by putting that in a print statement, that returns the string. What happened there? Okay. That returns what string? It returns this string here, this guy here. Okay, which is age of cat is 3, name of cat is Tibbles, weight of cat is weight, which is 12.5. Okay, so you can see that you have methods calling other methods. You have one class calling a method in another class. Okay, so it's calling a method in the cat class. Now I need to put explanation. So what does this do? This returns a string that contains all the details of a cat. Alright, so that's that bit working. So, woohoo. Now, we have got So I'll run it and show you how it works. So I've got Pat. I'm going to go Pat dot person Pat.
Capital P.
Oh yeah, that should be lowercase. So it's Pat dot print person. Okay, so there it all is. Your name is Pat, your age is 45, your weight is 123.1, your gender is male. So then it prints off all the details of the cat. Age of cat is 3, name of cat is Tibbles, weight of cat is 12.5. So it's all working out so far. Working out fine. Now, we have dogs. So what we need to do is, we need to do a method inside the dog class. Now what's this called? The method inside the dog class is going to be called, it's going to be a string. Now, here's the variables of a dog. It's the same variables.
Wait, just before this part,
Yeah.
gender, mine is based in rule.
You haven't assigned a gender, you have to use get gender. You have to use get gender. If it's not working, the handiest thing is just to download this when I've finished. Okay? So, in the dog class, now we do have a partner, we do have litter, we do have sex, because I'm going to show you how to use this class tomorrow to one of the problems we had. We're going to be using this class to do the assignment I gave to you yesterday. Okay? And you're going to have the fag now. Go on. You're going to have the fag.
Can you show me your print button there? Please. The first one.
There we are.
So yeah, when you say print gender, and I have the
Right, so we're back again. Now, so we're calling the print person method. Okay? The print person method, we go to the person class. Let's print off the name, the person, the age of the person, the height of the person, the weight of the person, the gender of the person. Okay? Now we want to print off each of the details of our cat and our dogs. Alright? So if we go to the cat, so my cat.print cat. So every cat that's owned by a person, the Java program is going to know it as my cat. Alright? So my cat, this is calling the print cat method for the cat Tibbles. Okay, it's the cat Tibbles. What does it do? So string print cat. So that means it returns. Now I just have, so that is a string. So it's returning that string. So age of cat is 3, name of cat is Tibbles, weight of cat is 12.3 or 12.5. Okay, so that returns all of that. That means that if I put it in a print statement, pin this, what you have to do is okay, this guy here, that returns a string, so that effectively is just a string. Okay, so that is, the product of that is a string. So that will print off age of cat is 3, name of cat is Tibbles, weight of cat is 12.3. Everyone been so far? Yeah? Right. So if we have a print cat method, now if you see our dog that was created, like the main, I created a dog with a name, an age, and a weight. Okay? So that means our print dog method is exactly the same as the print cat method. Okay? So, simple way to do is copy and paste that. Put it into the dog class. You obviously change the name to print dog, and you say age of dog is age. Name of dog is name of dog is. Weight of dog is. So, what will this do?
Same thing like that.
Yeah. So, this returns a string that contains all of the details of a dog. Now, this returns a string that's the details of one dog. Alright? There's a problem with that. If we go to the person class, we're not trying to print off the details of one dog. We're trying to print off the details of many dogs. Okay? We're trying to print off the details of many dogs. So that means in print person we have to have a loop. Okay? So this is going to be our loop. I'll explain. I'll do it first, then I'll explain. So for dog D, I'm going to do an enhanced for loop. Dog array. And that should be capital D. And I'm going to say D dot print dog. Now, so our dog array contains 4 dogs. Dog 1, dog 2, dog 3, and dog 4. Okay? It contains 4 dogs. Alright? Now, our group of dogs, Java knows it for every person. It knows it as dog array. Okay? So when we're talking about dog array, we're talking about the group of dogs owned by a particular person. Ever understand that? Yes? So dog array, put that here. Dog array is the pack of dogs owned by the person that is calling this method. Okay? So if we have dogs, no dogs, this will print off nothing. Okay? It'll print off null. Okay? Now, yeah.
This kind of might be a stupid question. Because we copy print dog is exactly the same as print cat.
Yeah.
If you said b dot print cat, would you get a different answer with the same answer?
You won't get, it won't work. Okay, because it has to be a method of the dog class. Okay? So So what's happening here? Okay, so this uses an enhanced for loop to loop through our array of dogs. Okay, that means we can use or we can access all the variables of each dog, or we can call any method of the dog class for each dog. So what this does here is that D1 or D is going to be dog 1. Okay, dog 1 dot print dog, I know spot. Okay, then it goes D becomes dog 2, and then we go dog 2 dot print dog. Dog 2 dot print dog is Rex. One of them is I got a null value, I think. Another one I think is Benji. Alright, so what we're doing here is this is calling a print dog method for every dog in the array. We have 4 dogs, so this will be called for each one of our dogs. Okay. It's not that it's complicated, right? What object-oriented program allows you to do, it allows you to break up a big complicated problem into smaller problems. Alright? You never have, with Java, with any programming, you're never going to have one huge big class with thousands of lines of code in it. What you're going to have is you're going to have hundreds of classes with 20 or 30 lines or 50 or 60 lines of code in each one of them. Right? So it's breaking down every problem into smaller parts. That's what object orientation allows you to do. I think there's a term for it, I think it's called subsidiarity. Right? All it means is you're breaking down a big problem into small. It doesn't matter how big a problem is, if you break it down into smaller tasks, the smaller tasks are easier to manage than a huge, big, complicated task. I can give personal experience about, I told you this before, I did a route finding software once upon a time. And that uses a mathematical algorithm called, the one I use is called Diascra's algorithm. It's Dutch, right? I don't know how to spell it. And if you went to code that algorithm in one file, it's incredibly complicated. So what you did is you broke it down into around 100 different parts. Well, actually, there's more, probably around 200 different parts. And each of those 200 parts would be something as simple as adding two numbers together. And you just built it up then into a bigger program. So what you did was I spent the guts of a full year breaking it down into 200 different parts. So with those different parts then, it could be just a little multiplication in one part, a little bit addition in another part, getting a number from another value in another part. We put it all together. Same way with this, we're breaking everything down into smaller parts. You could put all of this shit in the person class and you're accessing all the dog variables in the person class and accessing all the cat variables in the cat class and all sorts of shit. Alright? Or you can put everything to do with the cat inside the cat class, everything to do with the dog inside the dog class, everything to do with the person inside the person class. That's the way it works. Any questions on that? No questions? No. So, finally, so just to make sure that this works, I'm going to go back to main. I'm going to go to here. Okay, what went wrong there? Oh yes, now I know what went wrong. Right? Right. This has to be in the print statement. Right? So this has to be in the print statement. Right? That's what went wrong. There we are. Age of dog is 0, name of dog is null weight. So there's one dog I didn't give a name to. So it has null. There's actually how many dogs? There's two dogs I did not give a name to. Okay? Yeah, so it's age of dog is 0, name of dog is null, weight of dog is 0.0. There's another dog, age of dog is 3, name of dog is Rex. The last dog also has an age of 3. He has no name. He has a weight of 0.0. Okay? Now we're nearly finished. But the last thing we have to do, of course, is we want to print off all the details to do with this person. Now this person, if we go to him again, has a partner. Alright? So the last thing we need to do inside here is the following. Now, Pat's partner, who's Patricia, is known to Java as partner. Okay? So this is a person. Now, make sure we're out. So I just say end of loop, so we know where we are. This is, what is this? Oh yeah, this is end of person. No, it isn't. What is this? Hold on a second now. Oh yeah, sorry. End of loop. This is end of print person method. Sorry. End of print person method. Right. So that means we're going to have outside here, we're going to have to find out the details of the person. Okay? Now the partner of Pat, partner of any person, is known to Java as partner. Partner dot print person. So we're calling a print person method inside the print person. Alright? Now, I haven't said that Patricia has a partner, so it's not going to print the details of Pat. Right? Just to show you how it works.
No, you hold the partner dot print person.
Yeah.
The partner hasn't yet been created.
No. You can choose no pointer exception 84. Let me just see. So it's in person.java. Print person 84. I'm getting a null pointer exception there. Exception thread main 84. 84. So I'm going to create Patricia. I'm going to try something here, so just give me a second. Oh, I've made a mistake somewhere in my logic. So I'm going to try this. Just give me a second. I'm going to create another person using this other constructor. And this person's name is going to be Patricia. Just see. And I am going to say the partner Pat. So just give me a second and we'll see. Just give me a minute here. Got an error somewhere. I don't know what the fuck it is. Yeah. I have to put person. Yeah, so that's just around there. Ah, fuck yeah. Hold on a minute. Right. Oh, shit, I can't do that. Do you know what I'm going to do for now? I'm going to take out Patricia. Just give me a minute to go back the way, change it back to the way it was. So just for now, I will come back to it. I just made a little error there, so I'm not sure where it is. I'm taking out that guy. Okay, so I'm just taking out that guy for now. Now everything else works. Okay, but you need to find out I've done something wrong there with the partner. All right. So we can see here, this is a method called print person that prints out all of the details of the person. Alright, so to print out the name, age, weight, height, that's fine. Right? If I want to print off the details of other objects, what you usually do is you call a method in the other objects class. So myCat.printCat. Now you could put in all the details of the cat in there, alright? But it's cumbersome code, and similarly for dogs here, you could go through the dog array and access all the values, but this is much easier. Okay? It's neater, it's tidy, it's easier to use. Okay? Now, that is, as I said, I will come back to that thing there. That generates something called a null pointer exception. I just need to look and see what's wrong. Okay? Now, I'm going to save. So, I'm going to put that. Yeah.
In that, see, that's a bit like difficult because it's a recursive. I mean, we could
Yeah.
go like, in order to make a catch, you have to. And no,
that's the problem. So I'll just create another person and I'll assign it to. Okay. Now, but I'm going to export that. So archive file. This is 21. That is now going to be online, and it accompanies this video recording, which will be video 10. Okay. So this will be video 10. Now, we are going to create our next set of things. Okay, just give me a second now. I have to delete that to make it tidy up here. Right, now, so we are going to go File, New. Oh, fuck yeah. Hold on a minute, I'm in the wrong thing here. Which doesn't make a difference. New, Other, Java project. This is going to be 22. Okay, so just give me a second. It's in the wrong fucking place. So 22. Create a main, please. I'm just deleting all this other shit. So new package com.jb and new main public static void main. Finish. So this is 22. This is 23. Okay, so where does this go here? Alright. So I want you to create an animal class, please. Animal. New class. Animal. Finish. Now, so up here, this is one of the central planks. So we've seen polymorphism. Polymorphism means one method of the same name can mean different things to different methods. Okay, so one of the central planks of object-oriented programming is polymorphism. The second plank of object-oriented programming is what's called inheritance. Okay, so this is one of the central planks or themes of all object orientated. A minute now. This is too big there. Programming languages.
Is it difficult?
Sorry?
Is it difficult?
It depends. Some people find it difficult, some people don't. Now, so, works and principle of this. Right. Here we have, so, think of a family tree. Alright? Alright. We'll break that down a bit further. Okay, we are going to be doing a chart that represents life. Okay, now life could be split up into plant, could be put into animal, it'll be splitting up into fungi, and I think bacteria is probably a separate plant as well. Okay, so bacteria and viruses as well. Actually, there's another one, viruses. Okay, so life is made up of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's made up of 5 different planks. Yeah? Animals can be further split down into mammals, fish, reptiles, insects, and I'm sure there's a few more. Okay, birds, another one. Okay, and mammals can be split down further to eventually we get to apes, and eventually we get to humans. Now, inheritance is what we get from our base class. So we inherit something from the ape class. Okay, hands and feet. Okay, that's what we inherit from the ape class. What does ape class inherit from mammal class? Give birth to live young, warm-blooded, and feeds milk to its young. Okay, what does that inherit from the animal class? Inherits from the animal class is that it can move independently of other objects. It has a central nervous system. So it's something that's common across all animals. Life, then, what's common across all life is itself. It can replicate of its own volition, I suppose, is the only thing so what inheritance is? Inheritance is, so instead of putting in these charts, is that each one of these groups are classes. So you could have a class called life. Right? Now life is something we call a superclass. Life is a superclass of animal. Okay? Animal extends life, which means animal inherits from life. Animal is a superclass of mammal, which means mammal extends animal, which means mammal inherits from animal. Ape extends mammal, which means mammal is a superclass of ape, which means ape inherits from mammal. Okay, so that's exactly like how inheritance works. Okay, you have a class that has attributes. So in life, you have a class called life that has attributes and methods that apply to everything beneath it. Okay? Now, So that means animal inherits from life. So that means it gets all the methods that's in life. It also gets all the attributes that's in life. And then the animal class can add some of its own. So things that are unique to animals. So that means that everything beneath animals will inherit from animal and life. Animal inherits from life. Everything beneath animal is going to inherit from animal. Okay? So inside animal are going to be the attributes and methods that are common to all animals. Inside mammal are going to be attributes and methods that are common to all mammals. Inside ape are going to be attributes and methods that are common to all apes. Finally, we get down to humans. Humans, that's going to contain attributes and methods that are unique only to humans. But it also has all of those methods, all of the mammal methods, all of the animal methods, all of the life methods. Okay? Inheritance is a way to logically link up classes together. Okay? Rather than having a dog class and a cat class, what we would have is we have an animal class, cat extends animal, dog extends animal. And the common attributes for both dogs and cats, they're very similar. Okay? So what you'd only put in the cat and dog class itself is what makes a cat different from a dog. Okay? What makes a cat the same as a dog would be included in the animal class. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's a way of making our classes a lot smaller. Right? Because if you wanted to accurately create a software AI of a human, okay? And you want to create a software AI version of an ape, a software version of a bird, a software version of a mammal, a software version of a reptile, so on and so forth.
Sorry, if I understand right, it's actually less coding.
Yes.
Less coding, more files.
Yes. Oh, it's an awful lot less more code. Okay? Yes.
It's like you don't need to code.
You don't necessarily need more files because you can have.
I use cat dog in one like.
Yeah. You still have a lot less coding. There's an awful lot less repetition. This cuts out repetition. Okay? Cuts out repeating code. Because if you declare, let's say, int age inside animal, that means everything beneath it is going to have an age. I don't have to put int age in animal. I don't have to put int age in ape. I don't have to put int age in human. They all have an age because all animals have an age. So it cuts down massively on the coding. Okay?
For me, this is much more easy understandable than like we used before.
Yeah. So this is one of the central planks of all object oriented programming. Okay. C#, same thing. Okay. This is how it operates. Now in C#, so these classes are called superclasses. So life is a superclass of animal. Animal is a superclass of mammal. Mammal is a superclass of ape. Ape is a superclass of human. Okay. And you refer to those classes by the keyword super. Okay? Now,
But like super, it will be all life, animal, mammals, and ape.
yeah, right, so it goes now. Life is a superclass of animal. Animal is a superclass of mammal. Ape is a superclass of or ape is a superclass of human.
And
okay?
so like you said, it will be super. Let's say in life, it will be super, but like in animal, if you will put super, it's like
right. So we will be doing this in a minute. We will be doing this this evening. Okay. If I'm in the ape class, and I put the word super inside the ape class, it's referring to the mammal class. If I in the mammal class and I use the word super, I'm referring to the animal class. Okay. You can't go super. Yeah. No, you can't go super.
It's only one super.
Yeah, the one directly above it. But you can refer to, let's say, geez, I'm getting a lot here now, so I have to start getting rid of stuff. All right. So now Life is the ultimate superclass of all of these. Let's say we have a method in life called what's name something that's common to all life.
Cells.
Yeah, that'd be more of an attribute, a method. Replicate. All life is able to replicate. Okay, or reproduce. Okay, that means that all animals can reproduce, all fungi can reproduce, all viruses can reproduce, all plants can reproduce, all bacteria can reproduce, all mammals can reproduce, all apes can reproduce, all humans can reproduce. Okay, now at each way down along the line, we can have our own version of reproduce. This is polymorphism, right? So we can use our own version of reproduce in each one of these classes if we want to. We don't have to. If we don't use, right, so let's say I have no reproduce in, so no reproduce here, I have reproduce here. All right, so I have a reproduce in the human class, I've no reproduce in the ape class. And I have a reproduce in the mammal class. Now, what Java does, and I want to get my ape to reproduce, it doesn't have a reproduce method in its own class. What it will do then is it will look in its superclass. And it'll keep looking in the superclasses until it finds a reproduce method. Okay? It'll look in its own class first, the reproduce method. If it doesn't find it in its own class, it'll keep going up the line until it finds a reproduce method. So the ape has no reproduce method. He's going to use the reproduce method from the mammal class, automatic. Okay? It'll keep going up. If it hasn't got one, it'll use the reproduce method in the life class. If I want to call the reproduce method in the mammal class, what I need to do is I need to create a life object. So I call it my life. And I'll have to go my life dot reproduce. All right. Now, you've already seen. I'm just going to get rid of all of this shit for a minute. You've already seen that when I type in, I'm just going to put in a string here. Actually, I won't put that in there now. Just a minute. So I'm going to go back to main. I'm going to go back to main. And so I go name dot. Now, string is a method. And I have all of these methods that seem to come from some magic place. Okay? Or if I create, I can even do. Now, I have no methods in the animal class. Right? No methods in the animal class. And yet, I'm going to create an animal. Now, I've no methods in the animal class. Yet when I go end, so I call this animal end. End dot. I get all these methods. I get equals, get class, hash code, notify, notify all, two strings, wait, wait long. These are overloaded methods. Look at them here. Wait with no argument. Wait with the long. Wait with the long and an int. Now, where does it get them from? It turns out in Java there is a hidden superclass of all objects, and it's called object. Okay, so every class. Now you can't create a Java program without a class. All right. So from day one, what's actually been happening when we create a class main? What that actually is the following. It's public class main extends object. That's there automatically. Because every class ultimately has as its superclass this guy. And what methods are inside that class? What methods are inside this class are the following.
So if you create, let's say, non-classes, you will have same like extends.
Yep. Yeah. So that is there automatically. For every class you will ever create, it ultimately at the end of the day, now you could have a class that extends animal, so you have ape, whatever. But whatever class is your top level class, that also extends object. Okay? And the key word is extends. Alright? So I'm just going to quickly create to show how it works. So now I'm going to put the comment in after lunch. I want to do it first. Yeah, go on.
Go back to main.
Yeah,
So public class main extends object,
yeah.
but this is the main class.
Object, it doesn't matter what you call this class. Right?
So it has to be wrapping the entire main method.
It doesn't matter what the name of the class is. Okay? I'll do ordinary inheritance first, then I'll go back to explain this. Okay? So I'm quickly going to create a animal class. Okay? And inside that animal class, I'm going to give it a double weight int age. And I'm quickly going to go void eat. And I'm going to go syso animal eating. I'm not going to put in comments or nothing. So all animals eat. Now, so public class animal. So click on that button there. You make sure you're outside the animal class. Okay? Make sure you're outside the animal class. Click on that guy. You'll see the end of the animal class. So you type in end of animal class. So you have to make sure you're outside the animal class. Now, we are going to have class cow. Can't be public. You can only have one public class per file. Class cow extends animal. Now there is nothing inside that class. Okay? There is nothing inside that class. Right? Nothing inside that class?
Yeah, the price automatically show like red, like what is yes.
Okay.
Missed one letter.
That's it. Okay? So, now I am going to go back to main. Right? I'm not going to create an animal for now. I am going to quickly create a cow. Besse is equal to new cow. Okay? Now, I have no variable inside the cow class. I have no method inside the cow class. But Bessie has an age, Bessie has a weight, Bessie has an eat method. Why? Because she inherits the attributes age and weight, and she inherits the method eat. Okay? That is as good a place as any as to go for a break. To go for lunch. Okay? So this is inheritance. One of the massive advantages that makes your life. Now, it can make your life difficult at times, no doubt about that. But it cuts down on code. Rather than putting everything in every class, you create a base class, then you have another class, then you have another class, and another class. You're breaking it down. So it makes your life way easier. Okay? So, Bessie.eat works fine. Animal eating. Okay? We will go into more details on this when we come back from lunch.
But so far this is how we always do. Why do we have to extend this? I don't know, and why do I have to extend class how extend animal?
Extends animal, yeah.
And then you go based on it.
Yeah.
And you take basically
Yeah, but you pull it, so cow is a different class than animal. They're on the same sheet, you have them in the same file, but they're different classes. So you could have that in its own file, class cow. Does that make sense? But because you're extending animal, you have access to animals in there.
so I have via the animal class
Yes. You have
I
access.
cannot I can
Because cow
access-
is an animal, it has access to animals methods. So you can access it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense, but I'm gonna forget.
Oh, you're good.
Yep. It's more spectacular. I don't support any teams, it's just I can enjoy. Yeah, he can make it, of course. No, of course. Did you see what he did, Chicky Butter? Play with the nerve, because he could have went in with the first one. Watch this. One second, I'll show you in here. It's one of the things I shared. Yeah.